Now there's a place we all know well, they call it the land down under. Started up the old Kingswood with a clap of thunder. Hit the roads wherever they go, winding through Australia. With my camera in my hand, I am the Overlander. Now pass the bottle round, boys, don't you let it stand there. For tonight we drink the health of every Overlander. I drive from out back to the coast, it's there I meet the locals. Film their faces, hear their yarns and capture all their stories. Then I'm back upon the road in search of places grander. For that's the way I live my life, a travelling Overlander. Now pass the bottle round, boys, don't you let it stand there. For tonight we drink the health of every Overlander. Now pass the bottle round, boys, don't you let it stand there. For tonight we drink the health of every Overlander.
G'day, and welcome to the second episode of Around Australia. Once again, you'll get to meet some real Aussie characters as I make my way up the Queensland leg of the East Coast. First stop is the Gold Coast, an area which incorporates roughly about 40 kilometres of beautiful sandy beaches. And with around 300 days of sunshine per year, you can understand why it's one of Australia's fastest growing regions. When you mention the Gold Coast to a lot of Australians, they'll automatically start telling you how it's too commercial and full of high-rises. Now there is some truth to this, but really, the Gold Coast is no different from any number of large international tourist destinations. And with approximately 4 million visitors a year, you've got to expect some amount of infrastructure. So I wasn't stuck for things to do. Being a relatively new community, with most of its development occurring in the last couple of decades, the Gold Coast has been a place where people have moved to live out their dreams, and many have done well in the process. To capture this spirit, I interviewed local businesswoman Jenny Purdy, editor of the Gold Coast magazine.
You're a good lad. The magazine is very much focused around the social scene. We are what I would call a glitterati magazine. We refer to the Gold Coast as the glitter strip because in any one day there will be 3 or 4 functions on. Okay, bye-bye. The Gold Coast is a young city. Like with Sydney and Melbourne, you've got your old established families, and if you open the papers down there, it's always, people that have got lots of money, or they're well-known old families and they're celebrities and they're TV stars and they're this and they're that. Up here, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you've got $1 or not, you can be on the social scene. So that is what makes the Gold Coast unique. We've got a population of about 427,000 people. We're the small business capital of Australia. We've got 42,000 small businesses here. Everybody's come here, loved it, and thought, well, I want to live here. And we've all had to get out there and generate incomes. So you've got one business to every 10 people virtually. So we've taken this place, which was a little tourist holiday resort in the 60s, and turned it into the 6th largest city in Australia, purely on people's innovation. So there's a lot to be said for the Gold Coast. What I love about the Gold Coast is its lifestyle. And everything that anybody needs is right here on the Gold Coast. They don't need to go anywhere else. We've got theme parks. We're as good as Disneyland. We've got rainforests. We've got mountains. We've got beaches. We've got shopping malls. We've got more shopping malls than we know what to do with here. So, we've got beautiful hotels. You name it, we've got it. The Gold Coast is, in my opinion, the best place in the world. I really feel that.
From the Gold Coast, I'm heading up to Noosa, on the aptly named Sunshine Coast. Yep, you guessed it, more beautiful beaches and stunning weather. The great thing about Noosa is that everything is within walking distance. The beach, the national park on the headland, and more restaurants than you can poke a stick at. Noosa is a popular destination for the well-to-do, and many of its restaurants are top-notch. So I ironed a shirt, washed the Kingswood, and booked a table at one of Noosa's finest, Burrado's. Now, just as I was settling into order, I was approached by a magician. That's right, a magician. Sean the magician has made a name for himself around town, performing tricks from his magic menu. Who better to interview about Noosa?
Being a magician here in Noosa has been a really great thing for me, because when I first came to Noosa and fell in love with the place, I did feel that I wanted to somehow become a part of Noosa, to become, identified directly with Noosa. And I think that I've achieved that in a way, in that, I've been walking up and down the streets of Noosa for the last 17 years and entertaining people in the restaurants. And I even now have people come back to me who are grown up, and they say, "Oh yeah, you used to entertain me when I was 7 or 8. Here's my kids, show them what you can do." And it just gives me that full circle kind of a feeling that I've really integrated into Noosa and become a part of it. And I love that feeling of knowing that I'm a part of this place that I love so much. Noosa just seems to have everything that we want here. It's got the climate, and it's got the surf beaches, which of course north of here, you've got no more surf. There is something else about it. I think a lot of it too emanates from the national park area, which I guess you could probably call that the heart of Noosa. And it really is special inside the park. When you're in there, it's like you're just in a prehistoric world. There's quite a few Americans that have moved to this area, and Queensland in particular, and I think aside from the climate, which it's a great climate, it has also been a land of opportunity. In America, everything has been done many, many times over, whereas you can come over here with a new idea, and if you have a good idea and a strong idea, you can do it. I mean, like myself. I think one thing that sets Noosa apart from many of the other holiday destinations of this sort is that the town council has set really strict guidelines in the town planning scheme to keep Noosa's natural beauty the way it is, to keep the no high-rise developments, no development in the national park, and certainly they've put a population cap as well, which will keep the development down. So I think that will keep the natural beauty of Noosa the way it is, and that's what everybody really comes here for, is the natural beauty, and that's the true magic of Noosa.
I've got to admit the Sunshine Coast is one of my favourite regions of Australia. I've lived here for a bit, and I've got to know quite a few of the locals. And one of Noosa's best known locals is Betty Wallace. For over 20 years, Betty's Beach Burgers have been keeping hungry beachgoers happy. So make sure you check out a burger bus at the far end of Hastings Street. My trip to the coast also gave me a chance to catch up with some musician friends and record a theme song for the series. We started the recording session with an Aussie barbecue. Just buy a heap of meat, burn the hell out of it, and add plenty of beer. The perfect formula for a great day of recording. Hey, the song came up alright too. From Noosa I took a day trip to Fraser Island, the world's largest sand island. Now to get there you've got to do a fair bit of beach driving, which is a lot of fun in itself. It's quite amazing that on nothing but sand, this unique environment has been created. No wonder it's World Heritage listed. And check out the freshwater lakes. Next up on my journey is Airlie Beach, gateway to the beautiful Whitsunday Islands. Airlie Beach is extremely popular with backpackers, and you can understand why. You can attempt every aquatic activity imaginable, and many backpackers have, and that's just in the lagoon. The saltwater lagoon was built to allow year-round swimming. Up here, you can't swim on the open beaches from November to May. This is due to some nasty little jellyfish which can kill humans on contact. Of course, wherever backpackers dwell, so too does a lively nightlife, and many of the staff who work at Airlie come from overseas. So instead of interviewing an Aussie, I thought I might ask a backpacker what they thought of the Whitsundays. So say hello to Jenny Higgins, an Irish backpacker working in one of Airlie's many night spots.
Back at home, I was duty manager for an Irish airline. Travelling is something that I've always wanted to do, so I decided to come to Australia for a year. I'm now in Airlie Beach and I'm working for an Irish bar called Paddy Shenanigans, which is great fun, a great bar to work in, and it's certainly very busy. Everybody that works in Paddy's are Irish. We might take on the odd Scottish, considering they're very like ourselves. I think it's always good when you find somewhere that you like to stay, that you do work there, because it definitely gives you more of a feeling of the place, because you get to know more locals and the way they live. I mean, when I'll travel up further the coast, I'll definitely continue getting more jobs. Even if I don't need to, I always would like to get a job just to get a more feeling of the place and the way the locals live. I never planned to stay here in Airlie Beach. I was travelling towards Cairns. But when I got here, I enjoyed here so much. I mean, the town itself, it's very laid back, extremely friendly people living here. And I'm here now 2 months. I only planned to stay 2 or 3 days. So far in Australia, I have found the people to be extremely friendly, very helpful. It's laid out for the tourist industry, without a doubt. I mean, there's just so much to do and so much to see. I mean, you don't even know where to start. I mean, looking at the map. The adventures, you have the weather to go out and do all the adventure sports throughout the day, and then you've got the serious social scene at night time. So I think Australia itself definitely has laid itself out for the tourist industry, and it's a brilliant, brilliant place to travel, particularly for the young backpacker. You don't have to spend a lot of money, you have great hostels to stay in, and everything between the adventures and social scene is fabulous. You know, before I left home, people saying, oh, travelling on Australia on your own, particularly being a girl, I mean, it's not going to be safe, and a girl on her own, I mean, who's going to help if anything goes wrong? But travelling in Australia on your own, it couldn't be any safer, because I've met so many girls who are travelling on their own that when you meet people, everybody teams together and you move on, you meet new people all the time, so you're actually never on your own, and it can't be any safer. It's perfect. You know, although I'm not a local here, I've been in Airlie Beach 2 months, and it may as well be 10 years, because that's the way I feel now. It's like being a local with everybody else and one big family.
Now, I was on a tight schedule, so I only had time to do a day trip out to the islands, but even doing a day trip is well worthwhile. I got to check out the squeaky clean Whitehaven Beach, and I must say the reef snorkeling was just fantastic. Hard life, eh? Australia has its fair share of creepy crawlies, and some can even kill you. But for many Australian men, these animals represent employment opportunities. I mean, where else can you call yourself a crocodile hunter, or even a snake handler? The Barefoot Bushman is such a man. His wildlife park just out of Airlie Beach is well worth a visit.
How many times have you been bitten.
I've never been bitten. I've had teeth in me 26 times.
Oh,
But if that thing bites you with a head,
gone.
yeah, you're dead, aren't you?
You can watch them get all cuddly with a crocodile, and even annoy some little critters yourself. Just off the coast near Townsville is Magnetic Island. Half the island is national park, so the wildlife and bushland is quite amazing. When I arrived, I took a bus tour to get a feel for the place. The beauty of taking the tour is that it took me to places off the bitumen. So I got to see some of the more remote parts of the island. I also got to meet some of the friendly locals, like these rock wallabies. And the fish were pretty tame too. All over the island you'll see the strange looking bush stone curlews. Aborigines believe the curlew is a guardian of the spirits of the dead. At night the air is filled with their mournful call. It reassured the tribes of old that the departed would be carried safely across the threshold of death and into the afterlife. The following day I hired a car and went about exploring. There are some great bushwalking tracks and I saw a heap of wildlife. Echidnas are an interesting little creature. They have very strange breeding habits. When the female is ready to breed, she waits until she has up to 10 males chasing her. Then she buries her head in the sand and waits for the approach of the alpha male, the one who managed to fight off the other 9. The mating ritual takes up to 6 hours, after which neither party have anything to do with each other. Now I've been to a lot of places around Australia, but I've got to say not many compare to Magnetic Island in terms of its abundant wildlife. I'm next heading to the thriving northern city of Cairns. Cairns really does tourism well, probably better than any other location in Australia. With the Great Barrier Reef at its doorstep, a lot of travellers use Cairns as a base from which to dive. Given the importance of the dive industry up here, I decided to interview Peter Stokes, General Manager of Cairns Dive Centre. Peter has seen Cairns grow from a small tropical backwater to a world-class tourist destination.
Cairns is the most far northern port that you can access the reef to the pristine reef. So when you do get out there, you're going to get that clear water, you're going to get that good visibility that each diver is after, but you're also getting the safety aspects of the reef. If you go down further on the coast, again, the good reef is out further, but then you're bringing in currents, wind, choppiness, the comfort of getting out there and back to a customer, not getting seasick, this, that and everything else that goes with it. So it just makes Cairns basically an easy, accessible, very good dive site. When people dive in Cairns, I believe they're going to, or even snorkel, I believe they're going to see a diversity of soft and hard corals, unique to the Great Barrier Reef. You're going to see thousands of different varieties of fish in their abundance, not in one or two, but schools and schools of them. It's like swimming in a fish tank. It's just put your hand out and touch them. There's thousands of them. On the safety aspect of diving, not just in Australia but the Great Barrier Reef, I believe, and I firmly believe, it's the safest area in the world to learn how to dive, or even just come and visit the reef. If you're going to learn how to dive on your first course, you need a dive medical. If you're just going to come and visit the reef, the amount of people that are in place through the government laws and such, and the watchers and the dive masters, instructors, just there to make sure that you have a good time and go home safely. It's a very stringent place to dive and to snorkel. Well, that's the whole idea of it. There's a lot of people here and we want to send you all home from a happy holiday.
As with nearly every other traveller, I took a dive trip myself. I was lucky to go out on the day of the annual Fitzroy Island backpacker party. All the dive operators joined together for a huge hoedown. After dark, I went along to the woolshed, which is pumping most nights of the week. I was there on a Monday night when they host the Miss Backpacker competition. Basically, girls from the crowd get up on tables and perform for prizes. You'll have to go for yourself to see what happens, but let's just say the male members of the audience very much enjoyed the show. After all the late nights, I decided to take a relaxing trip into the hinterland and visit the rainforest village of Kuranda. I rode the scenic railway to get there. In Kuranda, there are plenty of market stalls to check out, where you can pick up some rather unique gifts for the folks back home. The Butterfly Sanctuary and Bird World are also well worth a visit. On the trip back to Cairns, I took the Sky Rail, which gives you a bird's eye view of the canopy of the Barron Gorge National Park. From Cairns, I head up the coast to Port Douglas, which I will use as a base from which to explore Cape Tribulation. Cape Tribulation has a bit of a last frontier feel about it. You can catch a ferry to get there, and it seems once you set foot on the other side, you're in a different world. Cape Trib is surrounded by the Daintree National Park, a World Heritage Area, and if you want to have the full jungle experience and have miles of beautiful deserted beaches to yourself, this is the place to visit. But before you decide you want to pack up and live here, consider this. Cape Tribulation has no grid power, no garbage collection, and the nearest ambulance is 2 hours south. And then there's the weather. The yearly rainfall is 4.5 metres, and during the wet season, you can expect constant rainfall for up to 4 months. Oh, and did I mention the cyclones and the unbearable humidity? Two people who have made Cape Trib their home are Alison and Digby Gotts. They run an exotic fruit farm and explain to me why they live where they do.
We came here on holidays and saw it was a beautiful place, and we loved the rainforest and the reef and the beach, the great long empty beaches. And the climate meant we could grow tropical fruit here, and we were looking for somewhere to have a farm, and the remoteness of this area really appealed to us.
Growing things has always been a major part of our life, and then coming here it was growing things to earn our income, to earn enough money so we could really live off the land. So we just got this real buzz out of finding these unusual fruits on friends' places and other markets, bring them back here or bring the seeds back here, grow them up, plant them out, getting all these amazing fruits that were pretty strange and new for us, and then sort of being able to introduce them to other tourists passing through the area and coming in. And I think there's upwards of 100 different fruits on the farm these days, and there's always 10 or 15 fruits in season. So we just sort of wander around, find what we've got, give people a bit of a taste of some of the unusual fruits.
We have our house completely open, and so therefore we have a lot of the wildlife coming through. The odd snake, there's lots of geckos. The rats come through, the rainforest rats come through. We've got green tree frogs living in the house. Every time I open behind the door, there's a green tree frog, and there's 3 in the toilet at the moment and 3 in the bathroom. People, they come here and they say, "Oh, are you self-sufficient?" And we laugh and say, well, if you only wanted to eat fruit, yes, but we like to drive cars too and we need petrol. But it is a real challenge to be able to grow and have all your own vegetables and have a full range of fruit all year round. And it is a dream that people have, to live in the tropics and be able to go out and find your own food.
We're chasing our own dream. It's our dream, it's what we want to do, and you make up your decisions on a daily basis according to your needs and priorities that you establish and that we see as important for that particular period. So we're not earning a whole lot of money, but we're earning enough to get by, and we're doing it for ourselves, and we're not doing it to satisfy some other government or system.
Well, that's the end of the road for this episode, but make sure you join the next leg from Cairns across to Darwin. You'll start to see a bit of the outback, and believe me, it's a lot different from the coast. I'm off to do a bit of camping in the jungles of Cape Trib, so catch ya!